Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon now. It's 12 o'clock. Thanks, everyone, for attending, for coming on in. We're going to give a couple of minutes for all of our attendees to come on into the webinar. So I see Chloe is logged in, Tran is logged in, Jennifer, Christine, Kim. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. I think I'm hearing a little feedback on myself, so let me go ahead and try and fix that. Again, we're going to give a couple minutes for all of our webinar attendees to come in. So thank you everyone for jumping on in this afternoon to have a chat with us about energy savings and energy efficiency. I see Helen is here. Melissa has come on in. Thank you guys so much for attending. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to roll in. For those of you who are here, if this is your first time on a Zoom webinar, you might see just me speaking right now. You might see all 5 of our panelists. You can toggle between 2 different views. If you're seeing just me right now, you're in speaker view where it'll highlight the person speaking. You can also toggle in the upper right corner to gallery view to see all of us at the same time. You can also interact with us during the webinar through our Q&A and our chat function. So at the bottom of your screen, you should see, you can hover over and see a place where you can chat with us if you ever have any questions during the webinar. I'll be your driver, your technical assistant, and monitoring questions in the chat. So feel free to pop any questions in there. To get us started, to everyone who's here, thank you all so much for joining us. I'd love to hear from our attendees. How comfortable are you with the topic of energy conservation and energy efficiency in your home? Do you feel like your household is pretty good at energy conservation, or you have very little experience? So on a scale of 0 to 10, if you could go ahead and test out your chat function by popping into the chat how comfortable you are with this topic of conversation and any questions you have that you're hoping to get out of the webinar. So folks can go ahead and pop on into the chat any questions that you have for us, and on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being I have no idea what I'm doing, I run my AC all day and kind of just accept that my bills are pretty high but would love to hear some tips, to 10 being I'm a total energy expert. Go ahead and pop into chat from 0 to 10 how comfortable you are with your energy saving knowledge. And thank you everyone for coming on in. We're going to give it about 1 more minute for our attendees to get rolling in. So thank you for coming and joining us today. Again, if you are new to a Zoom webinar and you're seeing just me speak right now, you're in speaker view. You also have the option to view all 5 of us panelists at the same time in gallery view. You can toggle that in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So I'm seeing some chats come in. Awesome. Looks like some folks are pretty confident about their know-how on how to save energy and keep their home energy conscious. And a couple folks who are a little less comfortable. So great to see that we have folks from all across the board. We're going to let folks keep filtering in for just about 30 more seconds here, and then we'll get going. I see Logan just popped in. Thank you for joining us. Joel, thank you everyone who's here for a conversation with our friends from SMUD on how we can all be a little more energy conscious and lower our energy bills. My name is Caitlin. I'm the Community Engagement Officer at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. I'll be your technical host today, so if you have any questions or any struggles with the webinar, go ahead and just pop anything in the chat, let me know and I can help out. We also have with us today Erin, who is the president of our Habitat Young Professionals group. We'll be your moderators and your technical assistants during the webinar today. So we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone so much for being here, for joining us. Again, my name is Caitlin. I'm the Community Engagement Officer at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento. If you're not familiar with Habitat and the work we do in our community, we are a nonprofit housing organization. We're dedicated to providing home ownership and home repair opportunities to low-income families living in the Sacramento and Yolo County communities. So we have 2 programs through which we serve the community. One is our home ownership program, through which low-income families apply to become homeowners and actually put in 500 hours of sweat equity, helping to build their homes alongside our team and volunteers, and purchase that home for a 30-year zero-interest equivalent affordable mortgage. So our home ownership program is really all about offering home ownership opportunities to low-income families who otherwise would not have the opportunity to purchase a home and create that long-term stable foundation for their families. We also have a home repair program by which we help keep folks like seniors, veterans, those on a fixed income who are already living in and owning the homes that they're living in, but might be facing some struggles to maintain that home, such as a roof repair that costs $15,000 when on a fixed income like Social Security or retirement just might not be a possibility. So we have those two main programs through which we serve our communities, and we're all about creating a world where everyone has a safe and affordable place to live. So we're so grateful to all of you who have joined us today. SMUD is one of our largest partners in the community, helping us to make those home builds and home repairs possible. So we're so excited to have them join us for a chat today on home energy efficiency and how you can be a little more efficient in your home and bring your bills down. Now, this webinar is hosted by Habitat Young Professionals, which is our group of young professionals associated with Habitat who put on things like networking events, fundraising events, and webinars, educational webinars just like these for our community. And with that, I will toss it over to Erin Wood, who's the president of our Habitat Young Professionals group.
Hi guys, yeah, I'm really excited. Like Caitlin said, Habitat Young Professionals, or HYPE as you might hear it referred to, is a group of young professionals in the greater Sacramento region that are here to really support Habitat in their mission. Believe that everyone should be able to thrive as successful homeowners in our community. So we're here really to help raise some money, promote volunteerism, create awareness about Habitat, and yeah, have some fun along the way. This is our second virtual educational seminar, so I am excited that we're able to bring you guys these events. We do have some other exciting things that we will be announcing upcoming in the fall and into the winter months, so stay tuned. At the end, we'll kind of give you some more things for what you can expect to see from HYPE. But I want to introduce the three members or panelists that we have today with SMUD. We have Heather Villapando, Michael Punzelin, and Ryan Boss. I knew I was going to butcher one of them. But anyways, Heather, I'll hand it over to you. Can you briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Heather, and I first want to say thank you for having SMUD at Habitat today to go over all the programs that we offer. I've been with SMUD for 9 years, and I work in the retail product delivery and sales area, most focused on special assistance programs. So with that, I wanted to share one of our programs, and that is the Energy Assistance Program Rate, usually known as EPR. And what that is it offers our eligible low-income customers a discount off their monthly energy costs. Qualified customers that participate receive anywhere from a maximum discount of $20 to $60 off their bill, and it's based on their gross income and the household size. So how you qualify is based on what your federal poverty level is, anywhere from 0 to 200%. Your gross income and your household size determines the level of discount that you would receive. So customers with the lowest household income based on the federal poverty level will receive the largest discount, and EPR customers with a household income between 0% to 100% of the federal poverty level receive the largest discount, and then customers with 100 to 200% of FPL will receive a smaller discount. So it's there to help those most in need. And you can apply by going to smud.org/low-income. We do have an online-based application, and you just plug in your household size and your income to check eligibility, and then it directs you to your online account where you log in and then upload your income documents. You can also call into the contact center and request a paper application be mailed to you, or request one through our IVR automated system through the phone. Online is the best way to submit. It takes approximately almost real time or up to a week for web applications based on volume, whereas paper takes a little bit longer. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks to process a paper application. And if you needed to call in to request an application, or you had questions, The phone number for customer service is 1-888-742-7683 to have questions, if you have questions or if you need to request a paper application. And then we do have a couple of other programs that work in conjunction with EPR or alone, depending on what your needs are. We have our medical equipment discount rate program, otherwise known as MedRate. It provides a discount for customers who have a higher electricity cost from running certain energy intensive medical equipment. And qualified customers can receive a $15 monthly discount off their electricity charges. You can get a downloadable application off of SMUD.org, or you can also call into the contact center and request a paper application or order one through the IVR automated system. The qualifying equipment for the medical rate discount would be electric wheelchair scooter, an oxygen concentrator, an in-home dialysis cycler, or you have extraordinary heating or cooling needs based on your medical needs. And then our energy assistance program also opens the doors to other programs. So typically if you qualify for EPR, you can also qualify or look into eligibility for HEAP, which is a federal program. It's managed by Community Resource Project. And there is a link on SMUD.org to direct you there to get their application as well. And it also opens up opportunity for other programs within SMUD, which Michael will be talking about, and that's our low-income weatherization program.
Thanks, Heather, so much for sharing those programs. Are those things that folks can apply for year-round, or is there a certain application period? And I will point out too that not only do these programs overlap for folks like the people we serve at Habitat, but also many young professionals early in their career might find that they fall into a low or moderate income scale. So I definitely recommend to anyone who is hearing about these programs to check out whether you qualify, because you might be surprised. But I'd love to ask Heather if those are the kinds of programs that anyone can apply for at any time, or if there's kind of a certain application window during the year.
No, they can apply at any time as circumstances change, especially with the pandemic. People all of a sudden had no job. So before they weren't even aware of programs like this that were available, and now their circumstances are different, or families have consolidated and multiple families are living in one location together because of circumstances like the wildfires or those kinds of things. So there is no specific time frame. It's whenever your circumstances would require that you would want to look into that program.
Fabulous. And again, chat, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in at any time. When we have a good pause, I'll go ahead and address those questions with our panelists.
Yeah, thank you so much, Heather. Michael, did you want to kind of introduce yourself next and what you're here to present?
Sure, definitely. Thanks for having us again. My name is Michael Punselin. I'm an energy specialist for SMUD. I've been with SMUD for a little over 11 years now. I work closely with Ryan and Heather, trying to piggyback on Heather's the EPR guidelines and program. One of the programs that I work for is our low income weatherization program. So this is available to any customer that's enrolled in our EPR program. Whether you're a homeowner or a renter, we can come out to your home and do simple weatherization. That's attic insulation, weather stripping around the doors, window screens, replace an old refrigerator, a new thermostat, programmable or a smart thermostat can be part of our program. So like I said, it's open for homeowners and renters. The added bonus for a homeowner is we will address any HVAC issues, which is your heating and your cooling needs. So if you have if you're a homeowner, we can take a look at your air conditioner for the summer and your heating during the winter. And all these services are provided by SMUD at no cost to the customer. No cost to the SMUD customer and no cost to the property owner if you're a renter. If we do have to install some measures in the home, if you're a renter, we will just need authorization from the property owner. and then we send our contractors to perform the work at no cost. And then also on top of that, we also offer regular classes where if before COVID-19, you can come to the office and we perform workshops of energy saving tips, give you ideas to save on your utility bills at home, how to do weatherization yourself if you don't fall under that EPR guidelines. We can show you how to do the work yourself and what to look for in your own house. Checking your attic insulation, for example. Also, we give energy saving tips for how to run your effective cooling for the summer, what temperature settings we recommend, and also the same thing for winter classes. So those are just some of the programs that SMUD offers. And then also, our group is in charge of, if you have a high bill, once you talk to a customer service representative and you can't figure out why your bills are the way they are and you want to save, we can come out to the home and kind of walk you through the house and look at each appliance and kind of figure out what each appliance is using, how long you're using it, and that kind of gives you an idea of where that usage is coming from. So all those programs are available for SMUD customers.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael. I do have a question for you, but I want to address one from the chat for Heather. And one of our questions that came in was, would a CPAP breathing machine qualify for the medical equipment discount through SMUD?
No, a CPAP does not qualify for the MedRate program. It is just the items listed: the electric wheelchair, scooter, oxygen concentrator, the dialysis cycler, or extraordinary heating or air.
Okay, thank you so much for addressing that. But one question did pop up for me, Michael, when you were talking about some of your the things that you talk about with customers when you're looking at their homes and their efficiency. What are some of kind of the biggest hitters that you know of or that you see all the time that you could recommend someone start to take a look into where their energy usage is?
So the biggest users in your home are going to be anything that cools and heats. So that's going to be your furnace, your water heater, your air conditioning system. Those are the big appliances that use the most energy in your home. So that being said, as far as your house envelope, what you want to look for is you want to make sure that your home is properly insulated. A lot of homeowners don't really look in their attic. One, people are afraid of bugs. They think there's bugs in there. They don't know what they're going to see when they pop their head in the attic. But I would always recommend check your attic insulation level, because if your home is properly insulated, that can reduce your heating and cooling costs up to 20%. And it's very easy to install yourself if you're a DIY type of person. You can go to Home Depot, buy the rolls, and just literally roll it on top of your attic floor, and that's it. And typically what you're looking for is about 12 to 13 inches worth of insulation in your attic. Also, make sure the walls are insulated. Older homes, it's difficult if they're to insulate, because you would have to take the walls down, or you could have to have someone professionally come out and they'll drill holes through your walls and blow the insulation through the wall. But yeah, if your home is properly insulated, 20% reduction in your heating and cooling costs.
That's great to know. Thank you.
And Michael, if somebody was interested in having a SMUD consultant come out and take a look at their home, what is the best way for them to schedule those appointments? And what is the time frame how quickly could that typically happen?
So great question. Typically, they can just call into the contact center, ask to talk to the weatherization department. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Right now, we're just doing virtual audits, meaning they're mostly phone audits. So we'll just call the customer, discuss their home over the phone. And then if we do find measures, we will send our contractors to the work. So the contractors will do a site visit, but within maybe 24-hour time frame, someone can call you for that appointment, and about 30 minutes to an hour worth of conversation will determine what can be done to make your home more energy efficient.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Michael. Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself next and talk about is it the SMUD store?
That's right. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ryan Bross. I'm a product manager at SMUD. I've been with the company for about 3.5 years. And I work in the customer and community services group, like Heather and Michael. And so I'll close this out here with an overview of SMUD Energy Store. And if you're not familiar, that's SMUD's online marketplace. I'll do a live demo and a tour of the site in just a minute. But I want to share some background on why we built the site and the value that it brings to you guys, our customers. So first, SMUD's digital customer base is very prominent and growing. And so we want to meet our customers where they're at, and it's online and even more so online. Also, we expect some of this instant gratification or automation, or we're always on our mobile devices. And so we want to make sure that the tools and services that we're offering our customers are meeting all those different needs and behaviors. We also want to offer energy saving and smart home products that we as SMUD stand behind, and in a very small curated list where it's easy for you guys, our customers, to find them and make decisions. And more than that, we want to offer them at competitive prices, whether that's just the regular for sale price, or if we're offering exclusive instant rebates on them to our customers, or doing flash sales and things of that sort. And so as I go through the site here in a minute, you'll see that there are instant rebates available. I'll walk you through how that works. But it's also important to note that throughout the year, we'll do different specials. Like sometimes light bulbs are as low as $1, or advanced power strips are $6. And we have a $50 instant rebate on thermostats. And so we just have all these different energy saving devices that can help you save money in your home. And we try to make it extremely affordable. We also built the store as a platform to engage our community and our community partners, Habitat for Humanity being one of those, regional water authorities another, and we have a handful of different partners that use this platform to get their message out and to deliver their programs. And speaking of delivering programs, we also want to use this platform to help deliver not just SMUD's programs like our rebate programs or our energy audit programs, but for other programs that are within the community. And so there's a great example of how we've partnered with the city of Sacramento to help deliver value to all of our customers, and I'll walk you through that. So let me share my screen here, and I'll walk us through a quick demo. Heather, Aaron, can you just confirm you can see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So this is the homepage of SMUD Energy Store. We feature some products here, some different programs that we call out, and of course you can choose different categories that you want to shop from. Before I get into the products you can purchase, there's this navigation here, Explore Home Energy Resources. And here, if you're new to energy or trying to figure out what should I do around my house that can help me save money, a lot of things that Michael just touched on, different categories here. So say I'm interested in what can I do in heating and cooling, different projects around my house to improve the efficiency. We have an energy efficiency audit that you can participate in, of course, install a smart thermostat. You click on this and you can see there's a $50 instant rebate available. You can go right to shopping. If you need help with installation, we link you out to either SMUD's internal installation network, or if we have a third-party partner that we use, we link you right there. So you don't have to search around Yelp or whatever to find partners. We do it for you. Replace your air filter here. So again, linking out there what you recommend for replacing air filters. So different projects, or I can go to, let's do lighting and electric if I'm interested in that. You can upgrade to LEDs in your home, install a smart power strip, or if you're purchasing an EV, you're considering purchasing an EV, of course, install on a level 2 charger. And then we promote the program that we have, which is you can either get a free level 2 charger or get a bunch of cash, almost $600 here if you purchase an EV. So this is just a resource section of the site for different areas of your home as you're considering becoming more energy efficient. The main part of the site here is shopping energy efficient products. And so these are all the categories here, and they span, they're pretty wide. It's great for homeowners and renters alike. If you're a renter, of course you can swap out your LEDs. You can install smart power strips, and you can even change out your thermostat. If you talk to your landlord and get permission, it's something that usually is just a plug and play kind of thing. And then when you move, you can take the nice unit with you and put the original one back on. Or maybe your landlord is willing to purchase one as an upgrade to the property. So the products span a category that's good for renters and homeowners, because I know it's pretty split out there. So let's just go through, let's go into lighting first. And as I mentioned before, this is a very curated set of products. It's not going to be an extensive list. It's going to be the highest efficiency bulbs that SMUD recommends. And on the tile page here, you can see where there's instant rebates available and what the price will be. And so found some new A19 bulbs. I can simply say, let's add it to the cart. I can, of course, like any other shopping site, you guys know how it works. You can read details and whatnot. So I'm going to add this to my cart. Then I'm going to go to air quality. Has been awful lately, so let's go to air quality. We sell air filters and air purifiers, and air purifier sounds wonderful right now. So let's add that to the cart. And then I want to call out a specific thermostat feature that I think is pretty neat. If you've ever heard of Ecobee, it's this brand right here. So Ecobee's got a neat feature in their thermostats where when you're setting it up, you can enable one of their features called Eco Plus. And as you're going through the setup on the app on your phone, you can say that you want to enable it and that you want to enable time of day or time of use pricing, which is hopefully everybody's familiar with it. SMUD's time of day rates, where there's a peak or mid peak, depending on which time of the year we're in. And so Ecobee's smart enough to know, okay, you want to enable this feature that helps you manage that, and also tell us who your electricity provider is. So you select SMUD, and then you would select how aggressive you'd want it to behave when it comes to controlling your HVAC for time of day rates. So you can say, I want to be the most comfortable, and so it's going to be the least aggressive, or I want it to save me the most money, and then it's going to be very aggressive. And so what this thermostat does is it basically creates a thermal envelope of your home, which is a fancy way of saying it knows how fast and how slow your house warms up or cools down. And so what it can do is say, oh, hey, it's 3 o'clock, time of day, peak pricing comes in 2 hours. We better pre-cool the home when electricity is cheap, so we can get you through the peak period a little bit further before you have to kick back on. And so that's a neat feature of Ecobee. And so let's go ahead and add that to my cart. I also want to call out, let's go to water fixtures. So I mentioned that we have a partnership with the City of Sacramento. And so the City of Sacramento Department of Utilities, the water district, they have a bunch of programs for free or highly discounted water fixtures. And so we sell these things. And so I approached them and said, hey, we can deliver your guys' rebate through SMUD Energy Store. And so if you're a City of Sacramento water customer, and the easy way to know that if you're not sure is if you live in the City of Sacramento, then you are. There's about 13 districts across the region. So this is specific to City of Sacramento water customers. But you can get instant rebates on smart irrigation controllers, which if you own a home with a yard that has sprinklers in it, this is like a smart controller for your irrigation system. There's some neat shower heads, as basic as little aerators, which are free actually for City of Sacramento water customers, and some different water control devices. And so, so you can shop those on here. So let's click on this smart irrigation controller, because I think that's pretty neat. I'm going to go to 8 Zone and add that to my cart. Let's see. So what I have in my cart? I have a light bulb, a power strip, or I'm sorry, air filter. So now I want to, I'm going to check out now. So I want to show you guys how this instant rebate functionality works. So I'm in my cart now. I've got everything that I want to purchase, and I can either check out at full price here, or I can check my rebate eligibility. And so since I'm a SMUD customer, I'm also happen to be a City of Sacramento water customer, I'm going to click check my rebate eligibility, because there's a lot of money I could save here. And it's as simple as entering your SMUD address in there, and then agreeing to terms and conditions. They continue, and then it's going to make sure that you are in fact a SMUD customer, or in the case for the water measures, a City of Sacramento a water customer. And if I qualify for any of them, then it's going to show up here right in my cart. So I got $12 off my LED pack. There were no rebates available for the air purifier, so that stays as is. $50 off the smart thermostat, $180 off the sprinkler controller, and it would go, for anything else like the Band's power strip. If I had that in my cart, I would get the rebate there as well. And so this is a much cleaner and instant solution than what you might be familiar with SMUD rebates in the past, where you had to fill out online application or paper form and send it in. It had to get processed, and then you get your check in the mail a month or two later. So here it's just coming right off the total in your cart. I saved $242, and I can continue to check out. And so I'll stop there since I don't actually need all of those things. But we have all sorts of promotions that go on throughout the year. Sometimes it's flash sales in the middle of the summer. The holiday time period is when there's the most savings, like many shopping sites. And so if you're a SMUD customer and we have your email, then you should be getting at least weekly emails for different offerings and promotions on SMUD Energy Store. Hopefully you haven't unsubscribed, but people love getting these kinds of offers. Like I said, sometimes bulbs are as cheap as $1. And so just keep an eye out for different communications coming through for SMUD Energy Store. Again, it's just a way we want to be able to reduce the cost to become energy efficient for our customers and delivering this value and in a really, really easy way, or what we hope is really easy and simple for you all.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan, for sharing about that. I know personally it can be really daunting to kind of start the research into what the heck is out there to help me, even what kind of light bulbs are the most efficient. So to kind of have a resource where they're like all in one place is super helpful. But we did have a couple questions come in that I wanted to address. One from Melissa, who I think Ryan or Michael might be able to help address this, but you both talked a little bit about the home envelope between those thermostats being able to detect how cool your home is, and Michael talking about the efficiency of your insulation. Melissa asks, do you have any info on comparing what your home is made of, so brick or stone or wood, and which is best for heat retention in the winter is her specific question. But how do those different, in general, how do those different materials affect how efficient one's home can be?
I'll take that. That's a great question. As far as information that we can provide for like SMUD.org, I can look it up and see if it's available. But as far as your home envelope, if your wall is wood, like most, like your cookie cutter home, for example, those ones that are pre-built of 1984, they should have R13 insulation, which is about 4 inches worth of insulation in the walls. And the older homes is harder to they're harder to insulate, just depending on the type of wiring that is running through the house. Because with most older homes, they have what's called the knob and tube wiring, where it's an exposed wiring, so you're not supposed to put insulation around it. Now, if you're going to retrofit your home and make it where you're having Romex wirings go through your house and pretty much rewiring your house, then that would be a good time to add that insulation between the walls. Obviously, with a brick wall, those are pretty well barrier. They're good barrier for heat retention. So there's nothing much you can really do with those except for just making sure that you're addressing any cracks that are happening through the outside foundation of the wall. But that's a great question.
Thank you, Michael. And I do have another question that came in from an attendee that says, is there a device or a method that tracks how much energy a wall AC unit uses?
I replied to that one. Hopefully the link works.
Perfect.
I sent a link to a product that's actually on SMUD Energy Store. It's called the Trickle Star Plug-in Energy Monitor. It's in the smart home category. Oh, and by the way, to get to this site, it's smudenergystore.com if you want to check it out. So that's something you can plug any device into this energy monitor, and AC unit included. You can plug in your refrigerator or your hair dryer, whatever you want. So this would be the most simple way to monitor how much energy any particular device is using, simply by plugging it in. But there are other devices that can monitor the energy use within a home and disaggregate what's using what. One that is very common amongst folks at SMUD is called Sense, but that requires a panel upgrade, and it's a much more extensive installation, and it's expensive as well. So check out that TrickelStar plug-in energy monitor. That's $30 on SMUD Energy Store. That's probably what you're looking for.
And we had a question come in before before today. Somebody was wondering how the best way was to track energy uses for certain appliances. Would that also apply to kitchen appliances or anything that you were curious how much energy they were using?
Yeah, you could purchase multiple of them. You can only plug one appliance into the device. So if you want to plug it into everything, you'd have to buy as many things as you wanted to check out. But like I said, there are solutions that are expensive and require professional installation that go onto your meter or onto your panel box that make an attempt to disaggregate what's using what in the home. But again, that's a much larger project.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Caitlin, were there any other questions that came up, or should I go with some more of our predetermined questions? Oh, I think you're muted.
Thank you. Always one of those, right? So it looks like we're good in chat right now on questions. So any of our attendees, always feel free to pop any questions you have for our panelists in chat. But Erin, I know that we had some questions that came in beforehand that would be wonderful to address.
Yeah, so the first one that I had was ways that you could track energy uses for specific appliances. Another one was, are there differences or different programs that you would recommend for renters versus homeowners? And I know that we've talked a little bit about that for the various programs, and a lot of these resources are available to both, but is there any more that you would want to speak to that maybe renters should be more conscious of or would be able to take advantage of, or homeowners?
There is a program called Home Power that SMUD offers. It's a small fee. It's about $7.50 a month, separate from your SMUD bill. What it does, it gives you $500 worth of electrical repairs that can be done to your home. So if you need a panel upgrade, that goes towards your panel, the permit. If a plug is not working, a switch is not working, a SMUD licensed contractor can come out and do that work for you up to $500 worth of repairs. Anything exceeding the $500, I believe you get a 10% discount of the fees. I recommend it for homeowners, definitely. I have it at my home because I don't deal with electricity very well. But for renters, I highly encourage talking to your landlord, see if you can get that done. Even offer to pay it yourself if you want to. It's $7.50 a month. And for an electrician just to come out to your house, usually it's about $80 before they even touch anything. So just with having someone come out to your house, it already pays for itself for 1 year. I definitely recommend that one as far as your renter or a homer. Just having that peace of mind that if anything goes wrong in the home electrically wise, I can have someone come out, and it's a licensed technician, and they can do the repairs for me for up to $500 worth of repairs.
Awesome. So one of the next questions that we had come in was somebody wondering if there are any additional services or anything that SMUD is doing to kind of help with the air quality. And I'm not sure if they were referring to, anything that they're doing for the community or anything that you would recommend your customers do because of the air quality, but I guess both would be applicable.
I'm not aware of any programs that we're doing as far as the air quality this moment from SMUD. But as far as we have partnership with Sacramento Tree Foundation, them offering shade trees, for the local Sacramento and I believe Yolo County. That's a program that both renters and homeowners can participate in, and that they can get up to 10 shade trees per household. But as far as the air quality, sorry, I don't know. Heather or Ryan?
I can add, I don't know if this is what the question was focused on, but from a more macro sense, if you're not aware, SMUD is working to reduce our emissions and our carbon footprint. In fact, we're trying to be carbon neutral by 2030. And so, of course, that would help with the air quality as a whole in our region. And so we're doing our part to reduce our carbon output. But as far as what's happening right now outside, I'm not aware of any programs other than continuing to promote green energy and reduced energy usage as a whole to help with the air.
Awesome. And then one last kind of fun one was, what are some common myths or false facts about how people can save electricity? One example that was brought up is that you should never turn your AC off, just turn up the temperature. Is there any truth to that, or are there other things that you guys hear on a regular basis that maybe is common myth?
As far as your heating and cooling, really you shouldn't be turning it on or off. You should just set it at a set temperature. For example, during the summer, we recommend 78 degrees when you're home and then 85 degrees when you're away. Same thing in the winter, we recommend 68 when you're home, and then at nights or when you're away, anywhere from 55 to 63 degrees. Reason being is once you turn let's say the last few weeks when it's been over 100 degrees, if you turn your AC off and forget to turn it on till when it's hot outside, when it's 100 degrees outside, your house is probably close to 88 to 90 degrees. So which means if you set your thermostat at 78 degrees, it's just gonna run all day long, right? To catch up to that temperature. So if you're gonna be gone for an hour or so, you're going to the supermarket to go shopping or if you're going to work, maybe adjust it, if you're usually at 78, maybe put it at 82. And then what I would highly recommend is if you're able to get a Wi-Fi or smart thermostat, you can control it through your Wi-Fi device. You can turn that down right maybe a half hour before you get home, so the house is nice and cool by the time you get home. But as far as turning it on and off, I just recommend just leaving it at a set temperature. And then when you do leave, put it up a couple of degrees above, so it's not running as often as it should be.
That makes sense. I'm definitely going to look into the smart thermostat after finding out that they're accessible in the SMUD store. I think that makes sense. So thank you. Caitlin, were there any other questions?
I do have one, just kind of a personal one that just popped up for me. We kind of fairly familiar with the time of day kind of guidelines that between 5 and 8 p.m. is when people run their thermostats the most or their appliances the most, and that can really affect bills. But I think I saw something come out recently about when we hit these extreme temperatures, over 100, 110 degrees, that there's a larger window recommendation to be aware of when running appliances, something like 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. or something like that. Michael, Ryan, Heather, any of you who have some familiarity, can you kind of expand on that a little bit? And maybe why there's a big difference? Is it just because we're running AC longer, or what is that like?
I think it's just, you're absolutely right. It's just people, it gets hotter quicker during those high temperature days. So the AC used, instead of it's, let's say, starting at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, now it's going to start around noontime. So it's the same thing as a regular summer day. More people are going to use that electricity sooner. So it's going to put a strain on the whole electric grid, so to speak. So that's why they recommend, the CDC or CEC recommends, just make sure you go from 1 to 9 is when you want to try to do your power conservation, is so you can eliminate some of that strain on the electric grid.
Perfect. Okay.
Awesome. Were there any last questions?
I'm still monitoring chat, so folks who are attendees who are here, if you have any burning questions that are coming up, feel free to ask at any time. Erin, right now we don't have any additional questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys all for joining. I think that this was really informative. I think that it's something that people are, tried to be aware of, but also it's great to have information from the experts so that we all know kind of what to be aware of and what to look for and the resources that are available to us. I know I didn't realize that there were that many resources on the My SMUD store, so I'm excited to check those out, and I hope other people are too. We will be sending out a recap to everybody. I know that there was a lot of information, so similar to the last seminar that we had, we will kind of summarize and make sure that all of our attendees get kind of this information back. So if you do have any other questions that come up, you can reach out to us or Heather, Michael, or Ryan. And yeah, thank you guys. I do also want to pass along some information that I'm excited about with HYPE. Our leadership team has been working very hard to bring you some more events that we can look forward to this calendar year. So we are working on some partnerships with local breweries and restaurants that you guys will be able to participate in, that can support Habitat and some of our local businesses here in Sacramento. Our first one we have tentatively planned for the 15th of October. We're hoping that we will be able to make this a reoccurring thing every third Thursday of the month. So if you're not following our social channels, give us a follow. That's where we'll be sharing all of the information on how you could support us, upcoming events. We have some more educational seminars in the works, so there will be more of those, and we're hoping to announce some volunteer opportunities soon. So make sure you're following along, because that will be the best place to kind of keep in the know with what is going on with HYPE, how you can get involved. Of course, you can always reach out to me directly or Caitlin. Our contact information is listed on the Habitat website under Habitat Young Professionals. So yeah, Caitlin, is there anything else that I missed that we should add?
No, I think that's it. Thank you, Erin, so much for moderating and for bringing our panelists together to talk a little bit about how we can all be a little more aware of our energy efficiency and how our home is set up for kind of being more efficient and bringing our bills down. I will share a little bit of information on what Habitat is up to outside of our Habitat Young Professionals group. So for those of you who might not know or might be interested in learning, we are still building during this time of COVID-19. Habitat was affected in March when everything had to close, and we did furlough our team for about 6 weeks while we figured out how to recoup something that was lost by closing the Habitat Restore, which, shameless plug, the Restore, if you haven't heard of it, is a retail outlet that is open to the public. It is reopened as of May with new capacity and shopping, restrictions in place to make sure everyone shopping is safe. But the Restore is a bit like what we call a Home Depot meets Goodwill kind of operation. So we sell new and used donated building materials, doors, windows, furniture, essentially anything that can go into a home, including things like air filters to help you keep healthy during this crazy quality time, essential supplies, and all of the funds raised there. Everything is at a discount, about 30 to 70% off of retail pricing, but all of those funds raised there go directly back into helping support the construction and repair of Habitat homes. So check it out. We're just north of downtown off of Richards Boulevard. You can get all the information at our website. But when we did have to close the Restore back in March for about 6 weeks, that put a lot of things on pause for our organization. However, we are back to building. We have 4 active construction sites right now, 2 single new home repair construction sites, 1 home rehabilitation site, and rotating home repairs. So we're building all the time. We're currently not able to post general volunteers, but we're keeping our fingers and toes crossed so it's safe enough to do so soon. And if you're ever interested in ways that you can get involved at Habitat or help support, my information will be in our recap info that we send out to all of our attendees for this webinar. So Thank you all so much for joining us to listen in. Like we said, we'll provide a recap and a recording of this webinar so you can tune back in and get any of the information and ask any questions of ourselves and our panelists. So just want to say thank you all so much for attending. Thank you again to our panelists, Heather, Ryan, and Michael, for being part of it, sharing a little more. And we hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon and a good rest of your lunch hour. So with that, we don't have any last minute questions popping in, so I'll let you all head off to your next things this afternoon. So thank you again, everyone, and stay tuned for more.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.